Hello, welcome. Day 17 has officially begun and is in full effect. Now, you probably noticed this big obnoxious jumper I'm wearing. It is because it is bloody freezing today in Australia, in Sydney, Australia. It is so cold. I don't know the exact degrees, but all I know is that I don't get cold easily and it's cold. So, yeah, I can imagine it's probably somewhere 15 degrees or below, I would assume. Cool. Another day, another 5:45 a.m. start at work, which was useless because my client didn't end up even showing up, which was unfortunate. I'd say it's half unfortunate, because obviously I want her to get the session, and a wasted session, especially if she's only training twice a week, is a big deal, in my opinion. And also, I did wake up at I woke up at 4:35 and got to work at 5:30 to make sure I was there for her. And she didn't show up. She had slept in, which is not very common, but it happens. It definitely happens. She was very sorry about it, which was okay. Obviously, I totally get it. She had been sick previously, just like me. I'm now thinking that maybe she was the one that gave me the sickness, but she slept in and didn't tell me and forgot. So she was very apologetic about it, and I'm always understanding. Look, it's okay. It's fine. That shit happens. But yeah, I am looking at my background, and my room is an absolute mess. I definitely need to clean it this weekend, which is something that I will do. Feeling better, as you can probably tell by my voice. Still not 100%, obviously, but I'm feeling a lot better. So I think give me a couple more days or another day, and I'll feel back to normal, which is something I'm looking forward to, obviously. I'm thinking of, hopefully, if I'm feeling well, training tomorrow. I haven't properly trained since, God, it's been a week since I've trained. That's a long time for me. That's a long time. I went climbing on last Friday. No, I didn't. I literally didn't. No, I didn't. Never mind. I haven't trained in a while. Did I go? I don't remember. I literally can't remember. But moral of the story, I haven't trained in about a week. And I'm really feeling the effects. It does get to a week of not training because you lose that routine as well. You just don't feel as good. I know it sounds like a drug, doesn't it? It sounds almost unhealthy. I'm not obsessed, I promise, but I just feel better when I do it, said every addict ever. Something I've noticed, just with stuff related to these videos, like through keeping myself accountable with these videos, I've noticed that other aspects in my life I've also been seeing improvements on recently. One example is I have been learning Japanese on and off for about a year now, and definitely in the past month, I want to say, I've been the most locked in with it I've ever been in my entire life. And I'm seeing the most progression I've ever seen in my entire life, which is obviously helping me reinforce, okay, this is working, and that feedback loop is constantly at full effect. So that's been really good. I've been doing it 6 days a week without fail for the past month. Yeah, it's been going really well. And I think this has been helping me. And the reason I think it's been helping me is because I would say, apart from work, I don't even hate my job. That's a thing. I just hate aspects of it. But overall, I don't hate my job. Like, I'm comfortable with it. But I would say I didn't really have anything in my life that I had spent a long time sticking with and doing. I've always burnt out quickly of things. I've mentioned this previously. I think that's because I give myself too much at once. And then, a week, 2 weeks go by, and I'm like, can I really see myself sticking with this for the future? No, cool. So I stop. But through doing these constantly, I've definitely noticed my accountability for myself has improved. So that's why I've been more locked in with Japanese. I've also gotten back into reading as well. I've currently got 2 books that I'm reading through. One of them is kind of hit and miss. It's Haiku. It's chapter 40, which is pretty useless because I have already seen the whole show. I've already watched the whole show. But the main reason I've got this is because someone gave it to me, and it's the only physical copy manga that I have. So I think it's a good way to entertain myself a little bit while also trying to, practice my reading. And what I do is I will read through it and then I'll speak it out loud to help with, my speech. Because I think that's the main thing I struggled with in my entire time learning Japanese, is I did all this input, but I never had any output because I didn't have anyone to speak to. Excuse me once again for the interruption. What was I saying? I've forgotten. Oh yeah, when I went to Japan, I saw more improvement in my output in the month I was there than the year that it was around 6 months that I'd spent learning it. And that was a wake-up call for me, like, hey, sure, you can get all this input, you can get all this vocab, all this everything, all this grammar, but if you can't practice speaking it, then you're never going to be able to use it. So I think that was a good opportunity for me to really show myself, wow, this is what I've been missing the whole time. So yeah, I've got that. The other book that I'm reading, which I just got into recently, is, I can't read it backwards, John C. Maxwell, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. Now, the reason I've picked this book, well, I didn't really pick it. I got recommended it by someone who I very much respect and who is very much a good leader and is very much confident. And they found a lot of use in this book. So I'm too early to tell, but so far it basically just goes over stuff like, self-assessing where you find that you can't exceed in terms of leadership roles. For example, are you good with people? Are you good at managing stuff? All these different things. I could probably go into the book and summarize it, but I don't know where I would find that, and I don't want to spend ages looking through it. But it's definitely too early to tell really what the book is about, just because I'm up to chapter 2. I'm 20 pages in. I literally started reading it a couple days ago. So I will keep everyone updated with that. Let me know if you've read it. Cool. Something else that I had a thought about today was actually related to these videos. And I've explained this before. I've had multiple occasions where I have really just not felt like it was worth uploading these videos anymore or getting them out. I thought it was a waste of my time. A good way I've found to keep myself accountable is I get home from work. So this morning I worked until 10:30. I'll show you the time quickly. I should probably show the date. I believe I missed showing the date yesterday, but that's okay. 5th of August. The strategy I've been using is when I get home, I usually don't eat until I get home. Like, I usually don't get hungry because I'm occupied, but as soon as I get home, usually I'm starving. Now, what I've decided to do is torture myself a little bit. Now, I've pretty much decided, okay, I'm not going to eat until I get one of these videos recorded. Yeah, and right now I'm starving, but I think it's best if I do this before I eat, just so it's kind of like a reward, for example. I am more accountable, more likely to stick with it if I am blocking out something so important to me before I, in order to get it. I'm really losing my train of thought here. I don't think it helps that I have the headphones on because I find it hard to hear myself. But whatever, doesn't matter. I think you got the point of what I was trying to say with that. Basically, I get home, I want to eat, but in order to eat, I basically said, hey, do this first. Get this done first, the thing that you don't want to do as much, so you can do what you want to do. Because I know as soon as I eat, I get a bit lazier, and I just want to relax, which isn't the ideal outcome if I'm trying to stick with this long term. Cool. Speaking of eating, I would love to go eat, so I'll probably go do that in a few minutes. I think I've basically gotten through everything that I had on my mind that I wanted to talk about Definitely lately, when I say lately, I mean today, literally, I felt more motivated, more of a rush of motivation. I think introducing other things like my reading back into everything is keeping me in the loop, really. It's keeping me motivated. And just like the first few days of what I'm doing, so day 1, 2, and 3, I was really motivated. And I definitely noticed that the motivation trickled off slowly the further I got into it, to the point where multiple occasions I wanted to quit. However, I feel like I'm getting a similar feeling as I did back then, a similar rush of motivation, which I'm really, really happy with. Now, I can imagine getting sick a few days ago didn't help with that motivation. That was another moment where I wanted to quit. But yeah, definitely today I'm feeling good about everything. I think that's because I am essentially entertaining myself less now. I'm back to gaming less. I'm back to keeping myself accountable with certain things. I'm back to training more recently, back to reading, back to doing my Japanese. So I think everything is kind of working like a big cog now. Everything's in place and everything's going well. So yeah, I hope all of that made sense. I feel like I'm very good at not making sense. But yeah, cool. Well, I hope training goes well tomorrow. I will keep everyone updated regarding that. Cool. I'm going to leave now. I hope everyone is having a good day. Once again, thank you if you've made it this far, even if you haven't, so you're not going to hear this. Thank you as always. Every comment is being read, and I greatly appreciate every single thing you guys say. Even if it's negative, honestly. I feel like I haven't had any negative feedback yet, which I'm waiting for. I know it's inevitable, but it's just another way I can help learn, right? Because I don't know everything. Yeah, but I do wish I was better at saying my appreciation or conveying it, because I'm terrible at it. I'm terrible at it. Cool. I will see everybody tomorrow. I hope everyone has a good rest of their day. And yeah, goodbye. Ciao. Bye.